Hello, my name is Putkonen. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm talking about what is your relationship to happiness. This is actually something worth delving into because, within the idea of liberation and enlightenment is you're trying to let go of suffering and discover or recognize the happiness and joy that is. And if you've got a poor relationship with happiness, you're always going to shove it away. And what I mean by this is, as you delve into your relationship with happiness, and you might notice that when you're happy, soon there's a feeling of guilt. And if you delve into this, maybe there's a deep-seated belief, maybe not conscious at first, but as you delve into it, there's a feeling that you're just not worthy of happiness. I think many people have this deep-seated feeling that they don't deserve to be happy. And how can you ever really be consistently, chronically happy if you don't really feel you deserve it or are worthy of happiness? And so this must be resolved. You must look at this block and see through it. Otherwise, every time you're happy, this deep-seated belief is going to destroy your happiness. And so you just kind of delve into how it feels when happiness happens. What soon is the feeling? And is it a chronic recurrence? Because people that don't feel that they deserve they're happy, what it is every time they are happy, there's a feeling of guilt. Is one avenue. And so if there's this chronic guilt that pops up alongside happiness, that's something to look at. Or maybe as you look at your past experience, you notice that when happiness happens, you find you can't be happy because others are unhappy. Because some people hold on to this idea that, well, how could I be happy if others are unhappy? They immediately look at the nearest unhappy person they can find, and then they're unhappy because that person's unhappy. Well, there's a great big world out there. And there are a lot of people making themselves miserable and suffering through their own beliefs and concepts. It is not hard to find someone that is not happy. And so if you're going to make your own happiness dependent on not knowing or seeing any unhappiness around you, you've chronically made yourself miserable and unhappy. And frankly, this standpoint doesn't make much sense to me, because if you are trying to increase the overall world's amount of happiness and you're trying to decrease suffering, it does not make sense to suffer because others suffer. You're just compounding suffering. If you're unhappy because others are unhappy, you're just compounding unhappiness. And so, why make your own happiness dependent on the happiness of somebody else? And so this is another thing you can look at. But I mean, this is all in the realm of your relationship with happiness. Now, another possibility, as you delve into your own experience, is your own relationship with happiness fear. Are you afraid of happiness? I mean, some I think are afraid of happiness. Because if they get what they want, down is the only direction. Some people don't want to get what they want, because then if you get it, you could lose it. And then there's all this worry and anxiety over losing what you just gained. What if I lose what I got? And so some people, maybe not, like I said, might not be on a totally conscious level, but on a subconscious level, there could be a fear of happiness. And so as soon as something, as soon as happiness arises, an anxiety comes up, a worry. How long is this going to last? When is the other shoe going to drop? When is all this going to go poof and it's gone? And it's going to be even more miserable then because I'll have known what I lost. I mean, these are the kind of things that potentially could arise. And so as you delve into experientially, this isn't just a mental thing. You got to experientially go through your past experience and your current experience if you're happy currently. But what is that relationship to happiness that you have? Is there guilt? Is there fear? Is there, all this other stuff that could arise? Because as long as we have these miseries and sufferings connected to happiness, basically our relationship to happiness is suffering. We connected suffering to it. And so every time we're happy, we're not really happy. We're not really content. Because either we're not quite happy anymore because other people are unhappy, or we feel guilt, or we have fear and anxiety over it, or whatever. There's these various possibilities, but what you're doing is you've got to uncover your underlying responses. And like I said, you have to go through your feeling and analyze your responses, because much of this is not on a conscious level. You may not consciously have the full understanding of the mechanisms and of the beliefs and concepts behind your pushing away and resisting of happiness. But if you go through the times that you're happiest, or casual happiness arose or whatever, what happened? How did it go away? Was it because you were pushing it away? Because a lot of times, or potentially you could say all the time, happiness goes away because we push it away. We push it away in some way. We get some hang up, some belief, some concept. And based on this, we're no longer happy. We push happiness away. And so I encourage this kind of delving into this inquiry about it, because you may reveal that you may not have the best relationship with happiness. And if that's the case, how can you ever really become, in any lasting way, happy? You have to kind of go through your own garbage first. Your own inner conditioning, concepts, beliefs, habits. But anyways, if you got any questions, comments, please post below. But until next time, thank you much.